Jennifer Berenger and Dr. Mannion. All right, doctor, the prosecution says that there was duct tape that was placed on the mouth of little Kaylee that stopped her from breathing. Have they proven that?
I don't think so. First of all, the body was so decomposed, all they had was the duct tape in the rough area there. Now, maybe it was just over her mouth. Maybe it was over her nose and mouth. As people talked before, if a body begins to purge during decomposition, maybe someone put duct tape over their face. Maybe the child was crying and somebody put duct tape over their face to shut them up vindictively.
Well, and that certainly would be an indication of the person who was trying to shut them up killing them. Rod, what do you think? Have they proven that duct tape killed her?
Well, I don't think that they've proven that the duct tape killed her.
Is
but
it
I think it's
believable? Will the jury buy it?
It's very consistent, Judge, with everything else in this case. And that's so important because you can't just look at one piece of evidence in this case. You have to look at the totality of all of the evidence.
I didn't see any searches for duct tape and suffocation. I didn't see any searches on the computer for duct tape and homicide. Or you're using duct tape.
But don't forget now, people use duct tape a lot to commit homicide.
Let me ask you this. What about the heart, the impression of the heart on the duct tape? What does that tell you about the person who put the duct tape there?
Excellent.
Jennifer?
Oh, gosh. I think it probably tells you there's some clearly sick. I think that's a really ugly thing. But I hated the duct tape, and I'll tell you why. Because I think the duct tape has been brought in. First, it was chloroform. That was the state's theory. Now it's duct tape.
Maybe
and I think it was only for the purpose of the 403 hearing to get that
nobody knows what a 403 hearing is. Could it have been both?
It could have been both. I think it was both. But, you talk about the little heart-shaped emblem. That heart shape simply meant I love you to the baby from Casey. That's what that meant. That was the message.
It could just mean you're a pretty little girl and I'm a creepy, icky old man.
But Jennifer, isn't the defense saying that George Anthony put her in the bag and threw her in the woods?
Yeah, they're insinuating that.
So then we know it was a family member.
So it could have been, exactly, but which one's more pathological? George has just as many lies. He's been cheating on his wife. Ugh, he's got as many things as Casey does.
Come on, Rod, how do you answer that?
He was threatening suicide.
Exactly.
But if your granddaughter's dead and your daughter's facing the death penalty, I think a lot of people would break, doctor. But let's talk about the duct tape, Rod. How do you explain connecting Casey Anthony with that duct tape?
Well, the duct tape came from the home. Okay, we know the duct tape came from the home, and the defense would agree with that. The question is, who used that duct tape on the child's mouth? The thing is, duct tape, and it's very important that the viewers understand, in a lot of homicide cases that I've seen, duct tape is actually used to smother a person to death. That's what you do. And I think in this case, that's exactly what Casey did.
How many men did that versus women? Men
I don't know the
deal
statistics,
with duct tape.
But let me tell you, a woman can use duct tape just as easy as a man can use duct tape.
They can,
and especially if a woman is going to use that duct tape on their child. And then once you put the duct tape on the baby's mouth.
I have a theory. Doctor, tell me if this makes sense. She's searching for chloroform on the internet. She knows how to make it. She searches 84 times. She deletes it. She then makes the chloroform. She first hears about it or sees it on her boyfriend's computer. Then she realizes that maybe the kid gets up. She's dancing up a storm. She tapes the child's mouth. Is that possible?
It's possible, but we haven't seen any definitive evidence that
Will
states
we?
that. I don't think so. There are no receipts. She would have had to buy paint thinner. She would have had to buy the acetone somewhere. Don't you think someone would come forward?
Acetone and pool cleaner. I read it on the internet.
That's right.
Yes, I want to thank you all for being with us tonight.
You have to decant it? Yeah.